My name is Gabriel. I'm the founder of Tutti, which is the open table of creative spaces. And we essentially help people find and book amazing spaces for any creative purpose, whether that's film shoots, photo shoots, rehearsals, recordings, performances, and more. So I come from a family of musicians. All of my family are classical musicians. And then I didn't want to follow in their footpath. So I went off and I studied film, which isn't that much of a breakaway, but I studied film. I love film, but I'm just not very good at what filmmakers are good at. And then I studied IT. Again, I love tech. I love understanding how it works, but I'm not the world's most brilliant programmer. And then I came home and I started having ideas for how I could put together tech, music, and film. And I wanted to start a startup to try and make those ideas a reality. As I was trying to get started, I needed to have a bit of an income, which wasn't startup life. So I went and I worked in theatre, photography. As you can see, I have a good camera, and dabbled across the arts in a lot of things. And throughout all of that work, I kept on coming across a lot of issues. One of the main ones being that it was hard to find and book space. It was just tricky to find the right space or affordable space or whatever space I needed at the time. Started asking my friends and colleagues whether that was just me having the issue or if everyone was. And it started coming out that it was a really big issue, that everyone in the creative arts struggles to find and book space. There's no standardized way of booking it. There's no standardized way of finding it. The easiest way to find space right now is Google, but there's no filter to find a space that has the right size or color infinity code or the right soundproofing. And once you've found spaces, it's then hard to book that space because sometimes the contact details are out of date or people don't reply. That happened way too often. And so I thought this was a perfect opportunity to build a marketplace. On the artist side, they can find and book, or they can find and contact spaces. And on the venue side, we help market them through our channels and provide them a standardized booking system that they can use to manage inquiries. And that's how it got started. We started that in October 2018, and we built on a white label marketplace to start with, so very low cost. And we grew to 1,000 users on that by March 2020. And we were going to switch over to our own tech anyways, and then the pandemic hits. So it gave us 11 months. I'm not saying it's a good thing, not a good thing, but it did give us 11 months of building in stealth mode, where we were able to build our own tech based on the lessons of the no-code marketplace in 2019. And so we built that. In March 2021, we focused back on marketing, and we grew from the roughly 200 listings that we had previously to 1,000 listings in 6 months. After that, we were like, oh, we can raise money on that success. And we tried to raise money for a while, from September 2021 till March 2022, and got absolutely nowhere. So we started talking to investors and advisors and our customers, most importantly, and asking them what they struggled with without that exact question. We just talked to them a lot. And then we started noticing that a lot of our customers use spreadsheets and Google Calendar to run their venues. And we were like, why? Surely there's software out there that helps you run your venues. And they were like, well, we've tried stuff, but either it's not reliable or it's not built for this sector. And so it just doesn't work. So we heard that from a couple of people and went out and asked a lot more people. And I think more than 80%, close to 90% corroborated that information. We've asked in fact, last week I had a conversation with a massive location that's used by Netflix regularly. They run on calendar and spreadsheets. And I was like, okay, so it's an issue. So we pitched to these venues that we could build software for them. And since we know what the thing that we as a team are really good at is the technology. Like our technology keeps being compared to companies that have millions in funding, and until April we were bootstrapped. So yeah, so we knew we were good with tech, and we pitched these ideas to venues, and they said, absolutely, yes, we'd love to use that. So with that, we then turned around to potential investors and said, hey, we're going to build SaaS instead. We'll keep the marketplace. It'll be a lead generator, but we're going to build the SaaS side of SaaS-enabled marketplace. And with that pitch, we raised 140K in 6 weeks. So we are now building that software. We've been building it since mid-April, and we soft launched it to a few venues last week. It's very much basic features right now, and it's not going to be used by that many people for now, but those features will grow to basically what we call another MVP for the SaaS in the next 2 to 3 months. And the reason I'm talking here is because in order to build that software and extend our runway until we get to a seed round, which we're planning in 2023, we are doing a crowd raise. One, so that our venues and our hosts and our artists, our supply and demand can get involved and invest in the crowd raise. But also so that we can just kind of grow our reach. There's a lot of friends and family and lots of people who've expressed interest in investing into us, but they can't invest like $1,000. So we're doing a crowd raise so that anyone can invest for £12 or more. And and we're open to more external investors at that time. Alternatively, anyone who's interested now can sign up to our mailing list where we say how we're doing, and then if you're interested in our seed round in 6 to 8 months, you can do that. That's roughly it. That's what we do. That's where we're at. And this is Tutti, open table for creative spaces.